Good morning, friends, and welcome. Let's start our class today with a prayer together. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, Friend, Beloved God, Guru Preceptors, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mahashaya, Swami Shri Yukteswarji, Beloved Master, Paramahansa Yogananda Ji, Saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet. O great ones, fill our class today with thy presence in our hearts, in our minds, in our souls. We are thy children. Bless us now. Om Shanti Shanti. Today's topic is the importance of satsang. We'll start with a song by Swamiji, Come Gather Round, and then a video excerpt of Swamiji speaking on this topic. Welcome again, friends.
Come gather round, we'll sing the blues away. Dawn now is breaking, and the mountains say, it's only light can make the darkness run. Lift up your head, greet the rising sun. Greet the rising sun. Some people think to harvest happiness by weeding trouble, easing every stress. The trouble is that troubles never end. Get rid of one, and you face its friend. And you face
Friends, come with me. We'll chant of battles won, shots not of anger. Joy will be our gun. Before the light, the veils of sorrow rend. In inner freedom, all delusions end. All delusions end.
You begin to think you're doing a good thing if you help a little old lady across the street. When you live with other devotees, mix with other devotees, go to satsangs where other devotees come, you begin to realize that that's hardly the beginning. That to live a good life means to be a hero, means to really give yourself to this ideal. But we, with this, I think, can change the face of the world. Master said, you can't get rid of darkness by beating at it with a stick, bring in the light. Well, this is the light. We're not going to settle the problems of the world by just talking of the problems of the world. We're going to settle it by being a silent influence. Just a little bit of... The TM people did a very interesting experiment. They said that if enough people meditate in a certain area, it'll change everything. So they went to Rhode Island as the smallest state, and they had a lot of them moved in there, and they were teaching classes in meditation and practicing meditation and so on. After a year, an impartial magazine reported the statistics that the suicide level had gone down, I think it was 53%, Murders were something like 40% less. All sorts of statistics. Accidents in cars were far, far less. Even the weather had improved. The more we live in the thought of God, the more good we're doing for everybody. People say, well, I mean, what are you doing for other people? Somebody was trying in Assisi, trying to get us to get more involved in ecology and so on. I said, listen, if everybody lived the way we do, we wouldn't have a problem with ecology. When you live at harmony inside, harmony spreads outward. Everything you do becomes harmonious. It's human disharmony that creates that, and you think you're doing a big thing by recycling. Well, it's a good thing to do, no doubt. But that's not going to solve anything. Whereas it will solve a great deal if you become harmonious in yourself. The whole world will become harmonious. Start at the center. Don't be like most people in this world whose vision is circumference everywhere, center nowhere. Live at your center and relate to other people at their center. That's what Master was doing. You related to them in their spine. You'll find that you can touch people's lives. You find that you can change the course of events the more you live from that center where God dwells. So communities, we're just at the beginning. We've been there, well, next year will be our 25th anniversary. If you discount the first year, which was, I bought the first land and tried 3 times to build a geodesic dome, and each time it collapsed. And finally I ran out of money and had to go out and start earning more before we could start building again the next year. And Jyotish was with me in those days too. It was a big struggle. But 25 years we've been going now, formally. And 25 years are just nothing. I think you're going to see a century from now, looking back, people are going to recognize what an important thing this was. When devotees could live together, when they could work together, when they could share their ideals, when they could become a power. You take, say, 350 people at Ananda, well, 100 of them are children, so 250 people. Each one in a different city, each one working in a job, each one exerting his own little influence, so that people like him because he's peaceful. How can you not be peaceful if you're meditating? They like being around him. They say, well, Joe, what do you do that makes you so peaceful? He sort of doesn't know quite what to say because he doesn't know how much they're ready to hear. And he says, well, I sort of I have a little time for myself where I'm quiet. And if he sees that they're a little more open, he says, well, I meditate every day. They don't listen, most of them. They'll say, oh, yeah, I know. It's really because you're a special kind of guy. Or they'll say, well, I think you eat bran for breakfast. Any excuse besides the real work. The influence he's going to have on people will be maybe one person here, and 10 years later, somebody over here. It won't be nearly so great. You get all those people together in one place, they generate a magnetic force. And that force radiates outward into the world.
Welcome again, friends. How wonderful to hear and see Swamiji. I'd like to start with this definition of satsang from Ananda Sangha. Satsang is wholesome and uplifting company, good company, especially on the spiritual path. Satsang rather, derives from the Sanskrit word sat, being, essence, reality, truth, and sangha, association. Sri Yukteswar named his hermitage Association Satsanga, meaning fellowship with truth. The word sangha, satsang, refers to fellowship with other human beings with similar spiritual aspirations, as well as fellowship with God in meditation. Yoganandaji teaches that fellowship between people strengthens the magnetism of their association. If company is spiritual, such as in the presence of saints and devotees, then the aspirant will be more strongly magnetized along the spiritual path. It's such an important part of our life. We were at a satsang on Sunday in Gurgaon, and it was on music, and it was very beautiful. We listened to music of Swamiji. We played music. We sang music, and It was lovely. But the most important and the best part of it was that we were together doing it. We could have been one person in one room doing it, another person in another. But to have 30, 40 people together, you felt the magnetism, and then nobody wanted to leave. And it went on, likely an hour longer than it should have, because people were enjoying the vibration, the uplifting energy, the blessings, the peace, the feeling of camaraderie with other truth seekers. And this is such an important part of our path that we have to remember. Most people, they relate on an egoic level. What I have, who I am, what school I went to, where I live, what kind of car I drive, what's my job, and that's all they're talking about. Well, but when you mix with devotees and gurubhais, nobody's talking about that. Everybody is in a harmonious, uplifted vibration, sharing a heart quality, sharing soul to soul, sharing peace, love for the guru. It's just a completely different energy. And when you can be or swim, bathe in that energy, you feel blessed, you feel purified, you feel happy, you don't want to leave. I remember one fellow was telling me in Gurgaon, I love this place. I just love to come here. I just can't leave this place. And you really can't, because you remember that vibration, you remember that energy, and it feels comfortable to you. So satsang is uplifting, it's cleansing, it changes our consciousness, and it's vital. Master told two different people, they were both millionaires and very busy. He said, I want you to come here to the ashram as much as you can. One came all the time. The other one hardly ever came. And Master said, look at this one who's coming all the time. He's soaring. And look at this one who never comes. He's bogging down, and he doesn't know why. And I remember when I was at Ananda for some time, and then I thought, well, I can do this on my own. I don't really need to be here. And so I left. I left for 3 long years. And what happened? I completely bogged down. I completely got out of tune. I lost my meditation practice. I lost my devotion. Many things fell away because I thought I could do it on my own without the magnetism of the group, the guidance of the acharyas and everyone there, and the holy places of Ananda. And so it's a mistake to think you can go on alone. And then when we were sitting in satsangs with Swamiji, honestly, it didn't matter what the topic was, just to be in there with 200-300 people, to be in there with Swami Kriyanandaji. He could be reading a P.G. Woodhouse story, and we could just feel the blessings of vibrations. And as Swamiji said, sometimes he would sit with Master, and Swamiji wasn't involved in the conversation. It might be about something like filling potholes there were things that needed to be done like that. And Swamiji said he would be sitting in the back of the room with his eyes closed, and he wasn't a part of the conversation, but just in the presence of that vibration, the presence of God. We have to remember satsang is in the presence of God. You're drawing the presence of God. You're drawing Divine Mother. You're drawing the masters. And Swamiji said that he felt like his spiritual light was just opening up, and he was just soaring out into light just by sitting there with Master. And so sitting and being with, we all know in meditations with people who meditated longer than you, sitting and being with people in classes or satsangs, that is what we call them, you feel so much better than if you just go on alone by yourself. And so it's a very important part of the path. We should always try to keep good company. And if you're not in good company all the time, be in it as much as you can. And inwardly be in good company. Now, isn't that an important part? Inwardly, keep Master in your heart. Inwardly, pray to the gurus. Inwardly, keep your consciousness uplifted. Inwardly, stay in your center. And I was remembering the story of that boy who Master gave Kriya to at the railway station. the story for Two Penniless Boys in Brindaban. And someone asked him, Master, later, years, decades later, have you seen that boy, or have you had any contact with him? And Master said, he's inwardly kept in touch. And isn't that beautiful? He's inwardly kept in touch. And I was remembering one time, Swamiji said that Master told him, he said he had seen him from day to day for some time, but he saw him one day and he said, "Oh, I've missed you." And Swamiji thought, "Oh, good, I haven't been in tune." And I remember Swamiji said that once to me, "Oh, Dhyana, I've missed you." And I thought immediately, it's inwardly, that contact, that touch has to be inside as well as outside. But keep in contact with the masters as much as you can. And then you can be anywhere. Remember, Master said that inwardly in satsang, Master said he wrote his poem, Samadhi, on a New York subway. And he said, no one took my ticket. And he was there for quite a while. And he said, in fact, no one ever saw me. But he was there in communion with God there. And I've had that, and I'm sure you've had that at different times where you've been somewhere and it's outwardly chaotic. And there's, I was in a restaurant recently, but I had my music and I was studying for a class, and at a certain point, Divine Mother just touched my heart. And it was like Master saying, listen, I'm with you. Just keep your mind on me. And there's another amazing story of a devotee a disciple, Master told, she was had a very deep experience in meditation. And she came and she told Master. And then he said, well, okay, that's good. But now I want you to go down to the department store, a clothing store, and purchase this for me. And she thought, now? She just wanted to go back into her meditation. He said, now. And she went. And she knew what the test was. Can you keep centered no matter what? So we have this filling up of vibrations of love, of joy, of upliftment, of the blessings of the masters, but we have to go out. We have to go out into our work. We have to go out into our family and our wherever we're going, and keep that vibration inside of us. Keep an inner satsang always going in your heart, an inner chant and a song, a song of love to Divine Mother, to Master. And so with you, and she did pass the test. But then with you, keep with you a picture of Master, or the travel altar, or in your car, or the music, or these pictures emanate light, Swamiji said, and they protect you. And if you can't be in the room with other devotees, be with the masters no matter what. And Master said he put his vibrations in Autobiography of a Yogi, just opening that book, opening any of all of them are holy books. They will give you a blessing and help you to have an inner satsang with God. So now I'll ask Nitendra to come online. We have a couple of questions that we'll close with today.
Thank you, Guruji. I'll just share the questions. Guruji, the first question is that I like to be alone and do not feel to go to one of the centers for a satsang. So if I do that, will my progress be slower?
Well, I can tell you that, your mind wanders and is restless when you meditate by yourself. Typically, you meditate with others stronger than you, your mind stays more focused. You may have a divine experience. If you're trying to study or listen to a talk or whatever, people are typically doing other things. The mind is racing too much. And I found one of my greatest blessings on the path was to be with strong Guru Bhais, to seek them out, to go with them places, to meditate with them, I used to bring a long list of questions to whoever I could find. And now, that was only for the first few years, but I would ask those questions. And it's much harder by yourself. I mean, let's face it. There's so many delusions that you have in your own mind. There's so many things that you're just not strong enough to handle. Your mind isn't clear enough. Don't have enough wisdom. You don't have enough energy or magnetism. You don't have the spiritual power, honestly, to go by yourself. And Master pointed out the path. He showed us, community. He harped on community. Be with other devotees. He lived in places and built them himself where people were living together. Swamiji built all the various community centers we have. Why are we online? I mean, it's like we need each other. We need each other's Shakti and vibrations and focus and guidance. And if one person's feeling down, the other person says, okay, let's do this. Then you're feeling down, that other person picks you up. The other thing is your attitudes. How are you going to change those attitudes and bad habits? I was able to work on mine with other people around me that, people would there'd be a correction. And nobody wants to be corrected. That's the thing. You say, oh, don't say that about me. I don't have that problem. And, but if you're with other people and you go to the center and you're rubbing off of each other, and you can see a reaction from somebody. You said something that wasn't kind, or, devotees typically are living in a different realm. And the more you're in that, like if you're by yourself and you're the only one thinking kindness and goodness and selflessness and all, like Swamiji said, then nobody really takes you seriously and you tend to lose it. So the more you can, I would say, cling to others in satsang, be there. Don't take people's energy, be there serving, be there helping, be there giving, but be there. And I've seen it in India. People go on by themselves. And I haven't seen the people who are willing to just keep going forward, helping other people, being at satsang, serving with other people, those people willing to do whatever it takes. I see them soaring. And I don't see that otherwise. I think the proof is in the pudding. You have to look around. Look around. You see joy, you see energy, you see determination, you see selflessness. And if you're too much by yourself, I think people get to be too engrossed in the ego. That's huge, It's all about me, my meditation, how I'm feeling, me, and me. And when I went to Ananda, it was about myself. I want to go because I want to learn to meditate. I want to do this. I want to do that. Boy, that got turned around really fast, like probably within a month. It was like, what about you? So as long as you want to live like that, why not go on by yourself? But if you don't, I would get with the group and go with the magnetism of the group. The whole group together is going to have much more magnetism than one person alone, unless you're a highly, highly advanced person, which I doubt that seriously. I mean, we're all here to work on ourselves and to help others, and our gurus are the highly, highly advanced ones. And so I think it would behoove us to stick together in a group.
Thank you, Dhyanaji. We have a live question, Dhyanaji.
Okay.
Is how to deal with family members who do not wish to be positive and who do not support us being part of a different community or a satsang in some sense.
Yeah, that question comes up every week practically. I think it's a reality. But first of all, you probably heard Jyotishan Deviji's talk on Sunday in conversation that basically you can deal with anything with a positive, uplifted energy. Sometimes you drop, everybody drops, but then you get back up. Secondly, remember it's your own karma. It's not theirs. It's theirs as well, but it's yours. And so it's your family that somehow there's karma there, and Divine Mother will take you out of there whenever it's time for you to be not in that situation. And I left my home at 17. I went off to school. Then I went off to Ananda, and I think that was destined to be. I just couldn't stay there any longer. I knew I wasn't going to stay there any longer. But, and I haven't been back to live because this has been my life. But you can't have everything the way you want. You have to also deal with your karma. Then there's dharma, there's destiny. The best thing to say is, Master, what do you want? And give me the strength to do whatever that is. And then it'll work out okay. And you get stronger from your relatives' negativity, if that's what you mean. But I say with my relatives, Master took care of that. And I'm so grateful. He got me on the path. He got my relatives positive. And I couldn't be in India if they weren't positive. So, you'll have to work at it, but don't try to run away. That doesn't work. Stick with it, pray to the gurus, and if you can find, if it works out in some way. I've seen miraculous things that happen with people at Ananda in India, where suddenly they're put in another situation, and that situation has ended. But you have to earn it. You can't just run off to the Himalayas. Master even tried to do it. It didn't work.
Thank you, Dhyanaji. One more question. I'm not well and cannot go out for satsang. So is it okay to participate online?
Definitely. We're going to be online forever. And so definitely, if you can't get out, what a blessing to have satsang online. And during COVID, nobody could get out. We all were online. This is how this thing started up, with satsangs online. And we've had discipleship online. We've had Kriya online. Now we're back in person, but we will be online for classes and satsang. So please do join. It's a wonderful way to keep participating. It's a blessing. Let's think about 3 years back or 4 years. This wasn't happening. And now it is. So people can join. And you can join satsangs in America. You can join satsangs in Europe. You can join satsangs anywhere around India. You can just be a part of the global Ananda work. So yes, don't feel badly. If you're not feeling up to coming, then be online. Now, what I want to say on the other side of that is, if you're feeling well and you have a center nearby, you should be going there. I know it's easy to stay at home and sit on the couch and turn off your camera and nobody sees you, and who knows what's going on. You're cooking dinner or something. It's more powerful. We've heard it repeatedly from people. I felt it myself. How wonderful to be back with everybody. How wonderful. And there's just a completely different energy. And so when you can, do get off of the couch and come to the center. I think you will just really feel a lot of difference in being there in person with everybody. Anything else, Nitendra?
No, Dhyanaji, we are almost up on time as well.
Okay. Thank you. And thank you, everybody. God bless. Bye-bye.